So the stock futures in the United States, which were flat before the announcement of the US CPI, have suddenly risen up. As I explained in one of my earlier videos, that the futures need to be looked at, but this is a very short-term view because the CPI numbers are not factoring in the tariff increases as of now. The stock futures have risen early Tuesday morning as investors have breathed a sigh of relief over a tamer than expected inflation report. Futures tied to the Dow Jones have added 278 points. They are just flat just a little while back. Nasdaq futures up 0.7% and S&P 500 futures have traded 0.6% higher. Tuesday's fresh inflation data release reassures the investors who have feared that Donald Trump's broad tariff policies could spike prices in the US economy. The consumer price index has risen 2.7% on an annualized basis in July, while the Dow Jones estimate had called for a 2.8% rise. So-called core CPI, which strips out volatile food and energy prices, has increased by 3.1% year on year, slightly more than the expected 3%. Investors were betting that this inflation report was tame enough for the Federal Reserve to cut interest rates multiple times this year. The market is currently pricing in a nearly 91% chance of a rate cut in the month of September per trading data from the CME's FedWatch tool. That's up from an 85% chance before the data release. So like 91% is almost as good as certainty then. Whether that will happen is another question. Traders also increased their bets on rate cuts in October and December. The report comes as traders weigh the latest developments on the tariff front. President Donald Trump said on Monday that he would extend a 90-day pause on higher levies on Chinese goods. Investors seem to be betting on upcoming interest rate cuts and counting on them to counteract the drag from tariffs. So, in my opinion, I think all the data is not in. So far, what you are seeing is that the biggest tariff increases started in the month of August, right? August 7. So I don't think that the data is fully factoring in. And before the Federal Reserve meeting that happens next month, there is still a slew of data, the personal consumption index, the CPI numbers for August, the PPI numbers for August. So there are many pieces of data. One can still assume that they would be tame, that the manufacturers may be absorbing all the tariff increase rather than pass on to the consumers. Wait for the action. Action is just beginning. Next 4.5 months will witness one of the greatest actions that you have ever imagined. We will be discussing these with people who have been in our Telegram groups. And of course, we give the first preference to the people who have shown good discipline and have been with us for a good period of time. So it's going to be a tremendous amount of action. Why don't you also join and be a part of the action-packed next 4.5 months, the remaining 4.5 months of the year 2025. To get to know more about the US markets, you can join our Prime Plus Telegram group, and for the Indian markets, you can join Premium Plus, which gives you 10 to 12 days predictions in advance and good multi-baggers. For the US markets, you can WhatsApp us on 732-732-2720, and for the Indian markets, you can WhatsApp us on 982-086-1044. Happy investing. Have a nice day. Take care. Bye-bye.